Welcome to this special mini debate between state Senate candidates for Oregon's 3rd District. I'm pleased to be joined by Democratic Attorney Tonia Moro and Ashland Republican businessman Alan DeBoer. Thank you both so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
All right, so as you both know, there will be no opening or closing statements tonight. You'll each have 60 seconds to answer your questions, and like our gubernatorial debate last week, there will be no rebuttals, though you can readdress any topic you choose in your 60 seconds once you've answered the question. Alan, you won the coin flip, so you're going to get the first question. We will alternate from that point on. So Alan, that first question, you're both vying to fill Democrat Dr. Alan Bates' seat. He played a very large role in Salem. What makes you the right person to fill his shoes?
Well, Senator Bates was a friend of mine and my former neighbor, and it's a difficult race to get into because he was such a great person and has large shoes to fill. I have experience in almost everything that will touch your life. 8 years on school board, 2 years on school budget, mayor of Ashland for 4 years, on the city budget before that, strong financial background, and the ability to work with both sides and to represent all people. I'm an employer, I have 220 employees, and I feel that all that experience is something that will help me come up with solutions that are a little bit out of the box, and I've been very successful in everything I've done as far as helping the YMCA, helping the Ashland Community Hospital revamp itself and to sell eventually to Asante, working with the Historical Society for many years. So it's an opportunity I look forward to. I think for our children, running a positive campaign.
Okay. All right, thank you, Alan. Forgive me, I have 60 seconds. I have to cut you off there. Tonia, what makes you the right person to fill Alan Bates' shoes?
Thank you again for this opportunity. I understand the depth of Dr. Bates' character and the greatness of his heart. He's well respected in our community and at the state level, and those shoes are big to fill, but I know that he believed in representing all of us. And so like him, I will be representing small businesses, working families, seniors, students, family farmers, and taxpayers that want accountable government. I, like him, know that the biggest corporations and the wealthiest individuals in our state are well represented in Salem, and I believe that they've had a little bit too much control over our state policy over the last years. I've been living and working in the community for about 30 years. I'm a public interest attorney. I've been on several boards, including the Board of On-Track for about 10 years, expanding mental health services and foster care services and housing in our community. I'm also on the RVTD board now and worked hard to get transportation funding and restore a bus system.
Okay, since we're alternating, this second question is for you, Tonia. Please name a current politician you admire and explain why. Of course, this can be state or federal. I
really admired Dr. Bates and well, I guess Peter Buckley is now retiring too, but the two of them worked tirelessly for our community and to represent Southern Oregon in such a great way. They were both known to be able to listen to folks on the other side of the aisle and come up with creative solutions. And I have great respect for Representative Buckley's hard work on trying to find the funding in our budget to keep a basic level of services in so many areas. And as we know, education is one of the things he struggled with, and I look forward to us passing Measure 97 so that we can avoid continuing to be the third at the bottom of a graduation in our state. And one of the ways we do that is to fund education so we don't have the highest level of size of classes and that kind of thing. So Peter Buckley and Alan Bates were two of my great heroes.
And Peter Buckley is still in office for
the
remainder of this calendar year.
Yes, he is. He's retiring, though.
So, Alan, a current politician you admire and why?
You know, anybody that volunteers to serve in any capacity, it's dedication that we need. So if you want a current one, you know, school board to me was one of the most important elected things that anybody sits on. And I think they tend not to be acknowledged as much because these are the people that are locally elected, and they run the schools. And it's probably the most important position for elections. So as we go out to elect school board members and to run, I ask people to volunteer, to put yourself in the place. A campaign's a difficult thing. I don't fully enjoy campaigning. I love to talk to people. I love to visit and discuss issues. And I look forward to the challenges that come forward to us. So anybody that runs for office, I respect.
Okay, so our last question, Alan, since we're only doing 3 questions, it's happening very quickly right now. So we're at a point now where we're counting on law enforcement to be mental health experts. If elected, what specific steps will you take in Salem to address this issue that reaches across party lines?
We need to increase our help for mental health. Police officers are put in a tough position where they have to make split decisions. It seems that people, even the negative campaigning we see, it affects people's mental attitude. So running a positive campaign, helping fund and do mental education, dealing with the homeless, which I have experience with, actually opened a homeless shelter in Ashland some years ago. So if we can help get resources to the people that are struggling so hard, it'll help our policemen. I think there's specific things we can do, giving policemen vouchers to help people that are in trouble, both for gas or food or motels, because a family here that is struggling for some reason, how can a policeman have the resources to help in those things?
Okay. Tonia?
Well, I've done some criminal defense work over my career, and I know how important mental health is to the overall health of our community, and to avoid in the long term, having to sink additional resources into the penal system and the criminal justice system. So it is an important area, and that's one of the reasons why I served on the on-track board. It's an area that Doc Bates was working on, and one of the things I think he really wanted to accomplish in this session was fully integrating mental health into our healthcare system and behavioral health into our healthcare system. So I intend to continue that work and hope to do that. We can embed mental health folks in our schools and in our police departments, and I think it may be in Ashland. I heard recently that there's a recent effort going on where we've got a social service worker actually riding along with the officers and providing a day-to-day kind of resource in the community for the officers, and that's the kind of thing we need to focus on and find the resources for.
All right. Well, very quickly we're done. Thank you very much for joining us, Tonia. Alan, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yep. Good to see you.
And we'll have to wrap things up there, but let me take the opportunity to remind everyone, please don't forget to vote in next month's election. We'll be right back.